6 effective ways to control hormones that cause weight gain. For a long time, specialists advised their patients that in order to lose weight they needed to eat less and exercise more. Now, the majority of those experts realize that their old advice was too simplistic for dealing with the complex problems of being overweight or obese. Hormones and genetics also play an important role in weight problems. While you can't change the genes that you are born with, you can control hormones that cause you to gain weight through what you eat. Try to maintain a high consumption of fiber and low sugar intake to control hormones. Insulin is one of the most vilified hormones when we talk about weight gain, because it stimulates your cells to store sugar in your body in the form of fat. This can turn into a vicious cycle. As your weight increases, your body requires more insulin to reduce the amount of sugar in the cells. This, in turn, makes you gain even more weight. If you keep a diet that's low in sugar and high in fiber, you'll have fewer problems with controlling your insulin levels naturally. This is because fiber is slowly broken down by the body, helping you avoid dramatic spikes in blood sugar. Fiber also improves your digestion and keeps you satisfied for longer, so it's even easier to lose weight. Eat protein throughout the day. Protein is important because it helps you regulate a hormone known as ghrelin. You might not have heard of it before, but it's very important when it comes to weight gain, as it's called the hunger hormone. High levels of this hormone will make your brain tell you to feed me now, when in reality it's not really necessary. Protein helps to suppress this hormone, however, turning off the false signals. It doesn't need to be animal protein like meat, eggs, or dairy. Nuts, seeds, and legumes such as beans, lentils, or peas are other protein alternatives that you can choose. Select your dairy wisely. Unless you're lactose intolerant, dairy products aren't bad for you. Nevertheless, you should choose them wisely. Many companies in the dairy industry use artificial growth hormones when they raise their cattle to stimulate their production of milk and meat. These hormones weren't designed for human consumption, so it's possible that they could be closely related to weight gain. Always choose organic dairy products or those that are labeled as hormone-free. This way you can enjoy them without worrying about the effects they could have on your long-term weight. Be careful with grains. Grains and seeds that contain gluten, whole grains in particular, aren't necessarily bad for everyone. If you have problems with your thyroid hormone, however, it's a good idea to significantly reduce your consumption of these products. Several studies have shown that a diet rich in gluten can significantly slow the production of this hormone. Thyroid hormone plays an important role when you want to avoid weight gain because it helps regulate your metabolism. It will be more difficult for you to lose weight, and the lower your levels of thyroid hormone, the slower your metabolism will be. If you control hormones like this one, you'll lose weight in the long run. Avoid soy products. soy can be a complicated type of product. Although it's true that it is low in fat, low in calories, and high in vegetable protein, it also contains chemicals known as phytoestrogens. These can block your body's actual estrogen production. When your estrogen levels are stable, a hormone called leptin is also optimized. Leptin is important in terms of weight gain because it regulates your feelings of fullness. When your leptin level is normal, you feel satisfied when you eat only what you need to. For this reason, it's a good idea to avoid soy products when your goal is to lose weight. Cut your consumption of caffeine. Coffee and tea are rich in antioxidants and have excellent benefits for your health. However, when it comes to weight gain, you might want to consider decreasing your caffeine consumption. Caffeine can also raise your levels of cortisol, which is the hormone that responds to stress and can trigger weight gain in the abdominal region, because it redistributes fat from the arms and legs to the abdomen. So if you want to lose weight, minimize your consumption of beverages that contain caffeine, and this also includes those products that claim to be caffeine-free. These changes in your diet are not necessarily based on how many calories you consume, but rather on the properties of the items you consume on a regular basis. Your hormones play a fundamental role whenever you're trying to lose or gain weight. If you know how to control hormones that cause weight gain, it will be much easier for you to achieve your weight loss goals. Remember that if you want to make a major change in your diet or dietary habits, it's best to first talk with a doctor you trust or a nutritionist.